Hello everyone and welcome to TorontoTv Program Live. This is Maggie and I'm here with musical guest Vanderpark, and we have two of the lead singers, Marcus Wong and David Stolberg. So let's give them a warm welcome. How's it going? Yay! So why don't you guys kind of introduce yourselves, your band and the members and what each member does, so on and so forth.
I'm David, or Dave, and I play guitar, rhythm guitar in the band, and I sing and write some songs for the group. And over here we have...
I would be Marcus, Marcus Wong, and I share similar responsibility in the band as Dave, except I do more lead guitar and more backup vocals, but occasionally do some singing up front too.
Yeah. And there's a couple other members in your band that aren't here tonight.
Should we introduce them as well? Even though they're not here? Well, who cares about those guys?
Okay, so how did you guys all end up together?
It's really, I think, yeah, it's a really long story. It's more like our life story. Where we both grew up, where we live, is really close proximity to one another, like 4 houses away, pretty much. And you know, when we were like 10 years old or 11 years old or something like that, we just ended up playing with one another. There was like an incident, I think, we were going to the park to go play in the forest or something, and we wanted to take some wood that his family was throwing out on the front lawn to build a fort, and like his mom kind of made a deal with us that we would, if we took her son, that we could have the wood. So I mean, I don't really remember that so much.
I was essentially exchanged for goods.
Yeah.
It was only really worth it to put on our front lawn.
So,
but it ended up turning into a long-lasting friendship. Relationship,
and I guess just from being around each other a lot, our common interest in music, and you know, the same style of music that we come to like grow to enjoy together, just ended up becoming this band.
It's kind of like one of the fads that we like went through as we were young. It was like, you know, playing road hockey and then skateboarding and then music, and then I guess the music, we just kind of kept with for many years, longer than the skateboarding and the road hockey.
So how did you actually come up with the name Vanderpark?
The name Vanderpark dates back quite a few years ago. We were in a band before that wasn't called Vanderpark, with his brother and a friend of ours, and the band kind of changed, and we ended up having to do, you know, we got back together and ended up having to do this show for our high school, and there was actually 3 of us at the time in the group, me, Marcus, and our friend playing bass, and we were like, oh, we got to come up with a name for the show, because we were going to play and we had practiced a couple songs, you know, but we didn't have a new name for this kind of new group. So, you know, I don't know, we're kind of like, to our bass player, we're like, what's your mother's, like, maiden name? You know, and it was Vanderpark, so we're like, okay, that'll do, right? So just kind of, I mean, I've tried to make some attempts to change it, but it's pretty random, but it's stuck. So it was our old bass player's mother's maiden name, that's what I say.
In Dutch, it means from the park.
From the park, so, and yeah, we live near a park.
Yeah, there's a park like that's central to our whole neighborhood called Hidden Trail Park, and it just kind of made sense that, like, you know, we're kind of mongrels from that neighborhood, and it really did kind of represent us. Like, in between band practice, like for breaks, we'd go to the park and, like, I don't know, throw football around or throw frisbee around, and just, like, you know, take a break. So
the park was a very central part of our growing up experience.
Yeah, it had a central meaning, and it, as random as it seems, it kind of did support what we were about, you know, a looseness.
So yeah, and I guess the name kind of stuck ever since.
Yeah, oddly.
So do you guys have formal training in music, or?
It's kind of a weird yes and no. Like, I started in music playing piano. I think you did too, long ago.
Every kid's supposed to.
Yeah.
Every kid should.
And I was, you know, obviously you get a piano teacher, but that didn't last too long with me because it conflicted with watching cartoons and wrestling on the weekends. So I know for, like, I took lessons for like a year and a half or 2 years, and then I stopped for a really long time. And then learning the guitar was a self-taught process up until about 4 years ago, when I really decided to, actually it's probably a little bit like 5 years ago, I decided to try to broaden my knowledge of the instrument, and just see what else I could pick up. And then from that I went to go study music at York University, and then got a lot of vocal training there. So I learned to do a lot of choir singing, and then my singing got a little bit better too. So in that sense, yeah. But I think what I've really learned, what the band is about, I learned all that stuff outside of the institutionalized, schooled.
We kind of learn that every Saturday in my basement, making lots of noise and,
Yeah.
and kind of figuring out what how to kind of
like
rock out.
experimentation.
Yeah,
and
basically.
just doing your own thing.
It was funny, like, even back in the day when we were just around each other, we would go to my basement and just, we'd play for, we wouldn't know what we were going to do, and we'd just go and do it, and like an hour later we'd be tired, so we'd stop, so it's one of those things. It was kind of like, as much, you can get as much training as you want, but you never really know until you just try to be creative in a very natural environment, and because we're friends, there's a sort of sense of comfort and ease to sort of do whatever you feel like, you know what I mean? And I think that's really important in terms of what we try to do with the band.
So,
well,
I took that way off
no, that's good. No, it's good.
I think I might have, like,
one thing
tangent.
that I really like, I feel very proud of is the fact that Dave used to be a drummer.
oh,
So
okay.
Dave used to, in all of his school, like Dave went to an art school, and he was like the drummer for all of the assemblies that I went and saw and stuff. And his guitar, I guess, like his persona on the guitar and as a vocalist really only took place like post high school.
Yeah.
Like he was a drummer in the band,
originally,
that I was
yeah.
playing and singing guitar for when we were
Yeah.
the new Vanderpark, when we were much younger.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I mean the transition. Dave actually appears as the drummer for Sushi Boy, who's also I believe he was on the show. I was on the show with him a couple weeks ago.
Episode 105, 6.
Yeah, and Dave's a really competent drummer, and actually, it works out really well that he can. I think it's probably made his guitar playing that much better. The fact that he has a strong rhythmic sense too. So, did you ever? You took a couple lessons drumming though, didn't you?
Yeah,
Way back in the
I
day?
studied for about a year. That's where we started. Like my musical, I guess, to go into my musical background, it started, like obviously piano originally, but in the high school years, it started playing drums in band. I wanted to play the saxophone, but,
Okay.
but you had to start out by playing the clarinet. My mom didn't. For some reason, my mom told the music teacher that I should try out for the drums, and I never thought about that because I thought, like, the guys who play the saxophone get all the girls, right? So that's why, it makes sense when you're like in grade 6 in high school. So I wanted to play the saxophone, but she told me to try to play the drums, and I didn't know if I had any sort of coordination. And started out with that, took some lessons, studied, got better, played with these guys. And then when I went away to university, I couldn't fit my drum set in the dorm room, so I had a little beat up acoustic guitar, and sort of like I learned a lot from like watching him and his brother play, and they would kind of teach me songs here and there. So I'd kind of learn mostly from these guys. Never really had much formal training, but just kind of learn from watching and listening, and
Well, self-taught, pretty much.
yeah, but on guitar mostly self-taught. Well, if you consider that self-taught, yeah, I guess.
Okay, so your band is like a multicultural band. I mean, what kind of ethnicities are part of your band?
Well, obviously, there's an Asian person, and
What?
yes, I've been hiding it all these years. So yeah, I come from a Asian background. Dave comes from.
I'm a Canadian Jew. I don't
Yeah.
know. Yeah. But that's my background. Well,
Yeah.
I've got like ancestral background, but really I'm a Canadian Jewish kid.
The bass player pretty much has a similar Canadian
Similar
Jewish
Canadian
background, and
background.
our drummer's got a Lebanese background.
Yeah.
So
So how does the multiculturalism, like the diversity, affect like the sound, the creative sound that you guys produce?
it's really tricky to say because I mean
Yeah.
like we're all I think second generation, Canadian immigrants or whatever.
Totally.
So we've come up through the school systems, and none of us speak with a quote unquote accent. None of us are. We pretty much epitomize, I guess, this Canadian ideology of what you become when you do grow up in this country. So I mean, obviously, we do carry cultural what's what I'm looking for, influences with us. Like the way I perceive about going to do something. There are things that are very standard Asian ways of doing things, that come off from me that way. And I think it's the approaches that really demonstrate the multiculturalism. It's not really that I listen to, Chinese music or anything like that, or Japanese music or J-pop or anything. I don't think, and you guys aren't listening to bands from like Jerusalem or anything like that.
I don't play the horror on a daily basis.
Yeah. But I think it's just our upbringings, and we all still possess elements of our culture, and I think they probably come through. And
yeah, I mean, like I think what we do is we appreciate kind of where our culture lies and where we all come from. It's like I don't think we take it for granted, but at the same time, in approaching the band, it's the personalities in the group that contribute to the music. You know what I mean? Like we all love the same kind of music, or like similar kinds of music. We may not love the exact same music, but we have similar tastes and respect for each other in terms of our musical tastes. So I mean, even though there's a Lebanese guy and a Chinese Japanese guy and like Canadian Jewish guy, like I mean, I think those are. It doesn't really make us who we are. It's just kind of what we, I don't know if it makes sense. It's what we are, it doesn't make us who we are. And it doesn't, I don't look at Marcus and think anything like Marcus is just Marcus, and our drummer, who's the Lebanese guy, is not Lebanese guy, it's not, right? No, it's true though, it's in this group, it's really not about that, which is interesting because I never really considered it, but maybe other people don't see it that way, and maybe they think something, but what they're thinking, I'm probably not thinking the same thing.
Right.
I don't know. That's just it maybe seems like a very Canadian outlook, but it's like that's just who we are, and it's all about the music. It's really as corny as that sounds.
So speaking about the music, like your band has decided to have 2 lead singers, 2 voices. Some songs, Marcus, you're the lead singer, and some songs, Dave, you're the lead. Why did you guys decide to do that, or how does that?
I think it's really just, it's really like, if you have an asset, you should utilize it. I mean, we're not the kind of band to just be like, oh, there has to be one lead singer, you have to stand at the front of the stage at all times. We don't prescribe to those kind of, if there are musical standards or preconceived notions of what a band should be like. I learned to sing in front of this guy through all of our years practicing together. I couldn't sing for a lot of years of my life, and vice versa. We've seen that, I guess, that growth together. So we're really comfortable just giving what we've got, and it's actually, we ended up working out really good. I mean, an example I always think of when I think about a band with 2 singers is the Bare Naked Ladies. They've got 2 very different singers, and I think our voices sound very different, but very complementary. And because we've been such long-time friends, our personalities come through in how we sing, which is complementary. And so I think, if I was a singer and Dave was just a singer and we didn't get along so well, it would probably clash. Our styles would clash too much on stage, but I think it goes a little bit deeper than just the fact that we can both sing. We don't just utilize it because we can, but it does work out in the mix. I think it's an interesting sound too. In the rock genre, you don't usually come across a lot of bands that have strong vocalists at all, number one. Usually the bands can't sing, and number 2, you'd be, hard on your luck to find 2 singers that could sing in a band. So I think that's one of our assets as a group. We don't wear makeup on stage. We don't have.
Yet.
Yeah, not yet. Who knows what'll happen? And we don't have a so-called gimmick, like with the way we dress. We don't try to come off as any kind of rock image, but the music and what you hear, I think, and I think that's the one distinction, is when you come out of a Vanderpark show, you say, oh wow, they had 2 guys that could sing. Like it's really uncommon.
Yeah, and then singing together, it also, I don't know, it gives us, I think, it's an asset that it gives us something different, and it's not, I mean, people may, say prescribe to the standards and look at it in a bad way, but for us it's a bonus, I mean, what we can do, and the fact that we both contribute our own material, it's not like there's one dude in the group who's orchestrating it and running the show. It's this is a band's band, it's a, everyone puts their thoughts and their ideas. We both write songs, we both work on each other's songs together, it's this, collaboration, it's this, kind of stew of ideas.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, who's your greatest musical influence?
I'll let you go first.
I think it's a tough question. I don't think there's one single, musical influence. I'd say, my musical influence is music. You know, that like inspires my life, you know, like everything about it. If I had to like name artists that inspired me, like growing up, you know, I first discovered that I could kind of choose the kind of music I wanted to choose, or so kind of like bands when, you know, I used to hang out back in the days in my garage and like blast Guns N' Roses, you know? But like that, even at that time I recognized that I was on sort of a path, a discovery path of discovering different kinds of music. You know, people like my friends will tell me, like, you know, they'll probably say, what's Dave's favorite band? And I'll probably say Pearl Jam, yeah, because at the time that was like, you know, an artist I really got into. I kind of try to take from, and I'm still, you know, being influenced by, you know, artists I'm just picking up like new CDs for, listening to, and I'm like, wow, you know, like I really I don't want to write like them, but like, wow, they're really inspiring me to think about writing in a different way. So I'm gonna have to give you a really straightforward answer. I know it's kind of a cop out, but it, you know, it's just kind of the truth.
Yeah, not to blur the lines anymore, but I mean, everyone in the band.
To be more vague.
No, I think everyone in the band has a fairly wide range of CDs, and you know, you won't go through our collection and see an emo, you know, category, or there's no one style of music we listen to. Like, I personally I enjoy singer-songwriter music. I enjoy pop music. I really love bluegrass. You know, like I love anything where anyone can really, you can feel the investment of themselves through the music. You know, like, I'll never deny listening to like a B.B. King song. The scope is as broad as anybody's like personality, but it's not, you know, like, I think we're probably, in terms of like radio-friendly pop music, we probably don't own a lot of those CDs. We're probably more selective about that. I can tell you who I've been influenced by in terms of how my style is on the guitar, and maybe my vocal style, but the way I write, I would say Dave's Answer is probably the best one. Like, we have songs that range from, you know, 3.5-minute pop songs to songs we have written that are entirely instrumental songs. And some people, that might be unconventional to some people. We have songs that, like, we've performed that are, you know, have a pretty heavy R&B edge, even a reggae edge at some points, and like, we're trying to really focus in for our listeners now what we're trying to portray to them. So not that we're coming away from those influences. Those influences will probably even get stronger as we go along, but, you know, I think the essence of the band is this rock pop sound. So as much as we're influenced by all these other things, we've made a kind of conscious effort to focus on something that everyone can see as like a cohesive unit of music. When we throw out a reggae song or a bluegrass song and all the stuff in one show, I think it confuses a lot of people because not everybody has a palette as wide as we have. But we understand that, and you know, we can adapt to that too.
So those are your musical influences.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's music.
No,
right?
no, it's true. No,
I love all music,
No,
as long as it comes from here, from the artist. And I'll listen to anything, and I'll actually, like, I can get really lost in music as much as anybody, but
there's distinct stuff, like, don't get it wrong, like, there's stuff that we like and there's stuff we don't like. We'll identify, like, you know, or at least personally, like, there's stuff that I like and then there's stuff that I hear that I can't really palate, you know, like, there's stuff that I can't stand, you know, like, we could probably go on, like, we were thinking about starting our own show, actually, basically ranting about, like, artists we dislike, you know, and we thought, you know, we came with this, I don't know how hilarious it would be, but we just thought, you know, trust me, like, we could go on, you know, we could go on for a while about things we dislike, you know, but, you know, in terms of our influences, it's obviously all on the positive side.
So, I mean, like, talk about, like, music coming from the heart. I mean, where do you guys get your inspiration from? Like, is there things that happen in your life that, you know, you talk about within your songs, or, I mean, how do you go about writing? Like, do you start with the music first and then the lyrics, or kind of vice versa? You know, what's the process?
For me, for my writing style, I mean, lyrics, music, it just depends. I mean, you know, sometimes it just, like, happens at once, you know, like, you'll have those moments where it's like, you know, some light goes on in your head and you're like, gotta get this out, and you just, you know, you do it, and it's like 10 minutes later, or whatever, you're like, oh, hey,
and then
it's like I got a song, you know what I mean? And then sometimes it's kind of like a process. Sometimes, you know, like, sometimes I'll have, like, some music and an idea, and the music will make me feel a certain way, and I'll say, like, you know, this will kind of fit, or then at another time I'll like can't be able to sleep at night, and I've got this thing I've just got to get off my chest, so I'll just like get up and type it all out, and then like I'll go back to sleep and wake up and then try to join things together and make it work like that. It just depends. I like the songs that just kind of hit me like that, because
those are the best.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? You can tell it's not forced. It's a true moment of inspiration. Lyrically, what I write about, like for me, it's totally like it's about my life. A lot of stuff in my life, the relationships that I experience. I've written songs that are like, if I'm having an issue with someone, I'll write about them, and it's bad.
Dave's pretty renowned for that.
I'm pretty renowned for like being like ironically obvious. Like it's really like it's like I won't say like the person's name, but like all my friends know. When I'm playing the song, they're like, oh, I know who that's about, or they'll have an idea. I try not to like. For me, it's like a way of kind of getting it all out. A lot of the time, it's about my life, my relationships with other people, and other people's like life experiences that are close to me that I see, them going through things. I mean, in terms of like positive songs, I don't know how many like happy love songs we write, because I don't know. For me, my expression kind of happens when there's that inner conflict or there's that controversy. That's kind of when I produce the best stuff.
Yeah, I mean the same thing for me. I mean, I like to really observe the world around me and soak up, what I see as much as I can. And obviously my life, my personal life, and my friends' personal lives are the first things that I can absorb. Outside of that, I mean, pretty much Dave summed it up. There's no equation. You can't go in and expect to pump out honest, original, poetic ideas out of your head. It's those moments of inspiration that are really the keepers. And we'll write thousands of songs in our lifetime, but it's those inspired moments that are the ones that people really relate to.
So what do you guys hope to achieve as musicians?
I think I can speak for probably everyone in the band, is we want to just be able to sustain enough, obviously, income to be able to do all the things that everyone progressing through life would want to do, which is be happy with your career. If you're a starving artist, I can always see some people becoming bitter about it. Oh, there's no money in this business, all this stuff, and that's true. To a certain degree, but it's all up to the individual to make that future a reality for them or not. So I mean, I think in our band, it's really easy for us because we're a group. We make each other stronger. If we're all individuals trying to reach the same goal, you're all out on your own. So for us, I think we're trying to make a career that's sustainable, long-lasting, and hopefully be able to reach some people out there with our music. That's ultimately it. Like I think everybody has something to say, and our personalities, and I think we're all strong personalities too when people meet us. Hopefully we can get that out there to people and make a living off of it. It's really all I want to accomplish.
Let's actually take a look at your website.
Sure.
Cool.
And then
this is our actual website, Vanderpark.com. On this website, once it gets loaded up, you can get our whole album and 3 new tracks that we recorded streamed. You can download them, but they're entirely available to listen to. So this is a new recording that we have that will hopefully end up on an album which we hope to have recorded by the summertime and be touring that album as well. Hopefully we can, with this album, use it as, I guess, the focus of the band. So this is an example of the kind of material that we're going to be highlighting on the album. As opposed to, we have another CD release in this bottom corner here. This is our release in 2005 called All Your Hands. Very different. Like I said, it has all those different elements of what we listen to. Much more diverse in terms of the skill of music. Not very focused in terms of one kind of genre and sound. It's us. Yeah, it's undeniably us. But
there's kind of like a few years of like writing stuff and kind of finding our maturing process, I guess, so to speak. It was like all these things we had as we were getting better instruments and figuring out new ways to kind of express ourselves, and it kind of came out like that recording that we released back in 2005. But now the songs we're featuring on the album are geared like Marcus said towards the new album. So you can scroll, you can stream a lot of 3 new recordings we did, plus a couple of things we recorded kind of live on the floor at Humber College in Toronto. We did that, kind of finished them up and posted them on our site. You can admire beautiful photos of ourselves as we're standing on the. They're not. Let's see the website. But if you go to our website, you can admire beautiful photos of us in the photo section, in the pics. Us standing there looking very sexy,
very serious.
Attempting. There's a little bit less serious.
This is the other side of us.
Seems a little bit orange.
You know.
Yeah, this is the other side. And you go to the next photo as it slowly loads. I was looking serious again. We mean business in the empty pool. we're admiring. And also, like, it's a fairly functional, interactive site, as you see. Like, you can view our press kit. You can check out past articles of us on the band. You can see upcoming shows and past shows. You can check out the band bio, and also on the site you can check out personal bios. You go back to the bio section. You can see, like, if you want to read about Marcus, per se, you can find out information about him.
They wrote this bio for me. So
yeah.
Yeah, it's
Can we say even something about him being completely hairless?
yeah, something like that.
Also, you can buy our merchandise. We got T-shirts, CDs, buttons. Here you go. We designed all our own merchandise, so we try to run all aspects of our group like it's a business.
Yeah.
And you can visit our MySpace there or download banners.
Yeah, here's just a look at our MySpace. And it's pretty much, it contains all the information of our website, but, some people are more familiar with the MySpace format.
Yeah, we try to keep it pretty basic.
Yeah, I mean, it has more updated photos
of us.
of us.
Plays then, right on.
Yeah. Yeah, so.
Okay, so why don't we have a performance from these guys?
Sure.
Cool.
The first one is Shine.
Okay.
So let's
we'll
set up.
You can just
Yeah. This is actually how we always do it.
For sunshine, baby, 'cause I know she will be here anytime. Would she even remember when she accidentally squeezed a lemon in my eye? Looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, baby. Looking for sunshine, but it's gone. 'Cause it's not the same without you, sunshine. The sky's been so dull since you've been gone. She said I had to go further, away from the blood and away from the spoils of the world. I thought I could find it, but I was wrong. Looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, baby. Looking for sunshine, but it's gone. Looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, baby. I know she will be here anytime. If we were left here to die, oh, at least we're ain't so strong. But I know we'll get by. The sun's creeping on in, and now I remember that it's a love that gets us all along. Looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, baby. Looking for sunshine, but it's gone. Looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine, baby. I know she will be here anytime. Looking for sunshine, baby. Looking for sunshine, baby. Looking for sunshine, but she's gone, 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 gone. I'm looking for sunshine, looking for sunshine.
My convenient.
So I guess we'll, are we going to do another one? Yeah.
Alright, one more.
Alright, so this one Dave is going to sing. And this one is entitled Getting This. This was actually the song that was being played on the website. And actually it's one of the first songs that should load on our MySpace too. One of our newer tracks.
They shot down to the ground on a sunny day. Tried to talk you so far away. Are you listening? I talk to you, oh, thinking what to say. Oh, I know that's what you do. Wishing things that will never be. Understanding you do. You get me for all the things that I've said to you. For just one word I get through to. Well, I don't get you. Getting this. Words I spit you, you always twist. Still I don't get you. Are you getting me when I'm saying? You used to be a good friend of mine, but it's not like that anymore, 'cause we just can't find the time. So I said enough, and I walked away, still thinking what to say. Oh, I'm thinking what to say. Wishing things that will never be. Understand you do, you get me for all the things that I've said to you. Or just one word to get through to you. Thank you.
That was a great job, you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming on the show
Thanks for having us.
today. And if you guys want to see them live or whatever, always keep in touch with their website, www.vanderpark.com, or also tune into their myspace.com/Vanderpark. Vanderpark. Sorry. So this is Toronto TV Live, and this is Maggie Ng saying goodbye, and hope to see you next week. Bye!